Hey guys, welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. This week we're going to talk about Ferraris. Now, the reason you might wonder why is because they made big news earlier this week with an announcement that they are recalling 23,000 plus cars. So these cars date all the way back to 2005, and the reason is kind of a major one. They are concerned with a catastrophic brake failure. So what does that mean? Usually these high-speed supercars, they're known for their top speed, their high end, all the power they produce, but really all that stuff is useless if you can't stop. So I would argue that the braking system in these cars needs to be as high performance as the engines themselves, as the transmissions, as all the car is. So braking is uber important, and they are recalling over 23,000 cars dating back to 2005 because of an issue with the braking systems. So let's do some math. 23,000 cars times an average value or an average new car price of, I'd say, $250,000. We are talking about billions of dollars that Ferrari is now on the hook for, because if I go drive my Ferrari 488 into a wall and my family can blame it on the brakes, that's a humongous lawsuit. Now, I don't have a Ferrari 488, so that's not going to happen in my household, but it might happen elsewhere. So it is something Ferrari is taking very seriously. So what they're doing is they're sending out letters, sending out all sorts of stuff to people who have purchased these cars in the last 15 or 17 years and saying, hey, listen, if you still have this car, if it is registered to you, bring it to the local dealer. We will go ahead and do it and fix it. And all it is really a software update. It's something to do with the vacuum seal on the master cylinder cap. So all they have to do is replace a new ventilating cap and update the software in the car. So it's an in and out procedure. It takes moments. It's not like a long invasive thing where they're going to keep the car for a week. But some of the cars that are impacted are not just $250,000 cars. These are very high-end Ferraris. So the big one that comes to mind on this list is the LaFerrari. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the list right here, and you're gonna be able to see, again, something like 19 different models over the last 17 years. This list is no joke. It's pretty extensive, and it's got things dating back to the Ferrari F430s, as recent as the Ferrari Roma, which is a brand new car. I mean, it just came out last year. So these cars are brand new. Some of them are quite a bit older, but they all have the same problem. You're gonna see the Portofino's on here. You're gonna see Ferrari California's on here. You're gonna see the FF. You're gonna see the 612, the 812. All these cars are on here, and they all need this service update. So I think that when it comes to a company like Ferrari, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. Now, I'm sure the software update is very inexpensive for them to figure out. Logistically speaking, they have to coordinate, all their dealerships have to have this software to upload to the cars. And then, of course, the brake master cylinder cap, the proper ventilation cap, they need 23,000 of those. And so all in all, it's not a major deal for Ferrari, but again, a lawsuit could be, and especially when a company like Ferrari has such deep pockets. Again, billions of dollars worth of cars are impacted here. They want to make it right away. So how this is relevant to me is not because I own a Ferrari, but next week I am driving one. So I am going to race a Ferrari around the Sonoma Raceway. Now, it's a Ferrari F488. 488. And I'm super excited about it. For my birthday last year, my wife gave me a gift certificate for what's called an Extreme Experience. And Extreme Experience is what the car company is called. What they are is a company that has dozens of supercars. I think they have 8 different models. You could do Ferrari, Lambo, Audi R8, Corvette. Golly, there's a large number of them. I want to say it's like a Hellcat Challenger, Porsche 911. Anyway, a McLaren. There's a few. There's 8 or 9 different cars that you can choose. When I signed up to drive the Ferrari 488 GTB, which is a car I'd love to own someday. It's definitely a car I've kind of lusted after for a while, and this is my opportunity to drive it. Now, I could have driven a new R8. I could have driven a Lamborghini Huracan, but both of those cars are kind of glorified what I already have. So to me, I wanted something different, something that I have never driven, something never experienced before. So Extreme Experience, they travel around the United States with their tractor trailers full of cars, high-end exotics, multi-million dollars worth of cars traveling in a fleet from raceway to raceway. And for me, we love the Napa Valley area anyway. It's an excuse to get down there, do some wine tasting, some sightseeing. I'm a baseball fan, so we're going to catch a ball game while we're down there. We're going to do all these things. But the highlight of the trip is really, and the reason for the trip is really to do this race. And so I'm going to race around the Sonoma Raceway in a 488 GTB. You're going to see a lot of that footage. I paid for a premium package, which does, it allows what we call pit passes, right? So my family's going to be right down there on the tarmac. They're going to be right on the racetrack in the pit. They can record it. I believe there's like a GoPro set up in and outside the car, which is all going to be recording footage. I believe I get all of that. So I want to piece together a pretty cool montage of, some still images, some, walk around videos of the cars, all the actual racing footage, all that stuff. I want to incorporate all of that into maybe the next episode or a couple episodes down the line. And it's going to be a ton of TikTok, content, whatever. I'm going to use it all for that stuff. But the experience of driving these cars I'm just so excited for it. It's not cheap, but it is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. And it really gets you in one of these high-end exotics with a professional race car driver and an instructor who's going to teach you what to do, right? They're going to take you around the track. I believe you do a ride along first, and then they put you in the driver's seat, and then they ride along with you. They're going to tell you, how to approach corners, when to slow down, when to accelerate, do all those things. And I know there's no other race car drivers on the track at any one time. I believe it's one person at a time, but you can compete against fellow drivers' race times. So, basically my idea is just to do it as fast as I can. If I can beat other drivers, great. But if not, it's not a big deal. I'm not physically out on the racetrack with other cars. So that eliminates one of the dangers. But now that this this recall has taken place with these Ferrari 488s, that's what I'm driving. And so there's a little concern in me that I'm going to get to the racetrack and I might not be able to drive a Ferrari. If their cars are down because of this recall, I don't know what that looks like. So I'm going to go down there assuming that I'm going to drive this Ferrari. I have not heard otherwise. I have gotten a confirmation email, a confirmation text, and a confirmation phone call, all telling me how excited they are for me to come and experience this thing, and it's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to it. But my wife and kids are going to be right there with me, experiencing it from the sidelines, which is cool. They're going to be able to watch, film, photography, do all those things for me while I'm driving the car. So it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. But that is why I thought I would talk to you guys today about Ferraris. I'm getting to drive one next week, but this recall thing was super relevant. And it's big news. That's a big thing when a car manufacturer has a problem like this. Especially, I would call it a specialty automaker, right? They don't make millions of cars every year. We're talking hundreds or thousands a year, not 100 million over the course of a decade, like a Ford or a GM or a Dodge or any of these big auto manufacturers. No, we're talking like a few thousand a year. Over a 17-year span, again, 23,000 plus cars, somewhere between 23 and 24,000. So kind of a big deal for them. I don't think it's going to cost them a whole bunch. When you're buying 23,000 caps for master cylinders, you got to figure they're $1 or $2 a piece. I don't know. Just because it's Ferrari doesn't mean it's gold plated. It's still plastic. It's still, just like every other car, couple bucks times 23,000 cars. We're talking $50,000. The software, it's just an update. They already own all the software. They own all the wires. They own all the computers. They just plug your car in and hit go, and it updates. So development costs, whatever, but from an actual practical standpoint, I would imagine Ferrari's out 50,000 bucks, maybe 100 grand. Plus they have to pay their technicians to do all the stuff and all that. I get that, but it's not life-changing for them. What it does do is it changes the perception of the consumer. I don't want to buy a car that has an open recall, right? Who does? Nobody wants to do that. And so something like a catastrophic failure, that's a big, big deal. So the long and short of it is they need to get this fixed, and it sounds like they're well on their way, but it's relevant in my life right now. And so I wanted to share that with you, and also kind of give you the heads up that I'm going through this really awesome experience here in the next week, or later this week, that you guys are going to learn all about. You're going to see it. Maybe it inspires you to go jump in a race car on a track someplace and do the experience yourself. I would encourage you to try it. Again, it's called Extreme Experience, and extreme is spelled with an X, and experience is spelled with an X also. So Google them, learn about them, see what cars are out there, see when your racetrack nearby might offer this type of thing, and sign up. It's awesome. Once in a lifetime thing. And, there's a whole bunch that goes with it. So check it all out. Have a great week. May, this be your opportunity to ask questions of me, figure out what you'd like to learn more about. Most of you guys probably don't own Ferraris. If you do, you're welcome. You may not have heard about this. I saw it on the internet several different places, several different times. So the likelihood is you already knew this, but if you're not a Ferrari guy, you may not have known it. And this is a big deal. So I wanted to share that with you. But like I said, right, this is your chance to ask questions. Comment down below. Let me know what's going on in your world. But most importantly, may always remember that may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.